After 14 days of playing, I believe I have some tips that can benefit anyone who hasn't discovered them for themselves. Tip 1. The bell icon in the top of the menu is your best friend for getting rid of red dots and just slowly figuring out what you need to do on a daily basis. And if it is just telling you to do something you don't want to do, you can easily swipe it away like a regular phone notification. Tip 2. You can clean up the menu just a little bit by hiding the map and the quest guide. Just click on the icon and they will disappear. Tip 3. Changing your camera to free auto gives you much better control, especially when you are fighting bosses. I found this is the only way I can dodge properly. You do this just by clicking on the camera button in the bottom left corner. Tip 4. You can switch characters by going to settings and then going to account settings. This is something I couldn't figure out at first, as I was just closing the game, and if you restart instantly, it skips the character selection screen. Tip 5. There is no wrong way to power. I know a lot of people advise either hoarding copies of weapons and familiars to do awakening later, or just keep one copy and feeding all the extras as EXP until later in the game. I on the other hand just started awakening right away, and I'm still in a competitive CP range for free to play. As you can see, I've crossed the 300k CP mark and I have maxed awaken all the 1-star gear and one single 1-star familiar, as gear is much easier to get than familiars. And I have most of the 2 stars at 7 and above. It takes a stupid amount of gold, but in the end it still feeds into your CP, so you can do it now or later. No way is the wrong way. Tip 6. As we are on awakening, while I advise to awaken lower level gear, I don't advise leveling them, as EXP is still a scarce resource, and you definitely won't be using 1 and 2 star gear in battle. Tip 7. Also, when you awaken 1 and 2 star gear, try not to gamble with less than 100%, as you will more often not waste the gold and you don't get anything if you fail a 1 or 2 star awakening. On the other hand, you can gamble on 3 star and above sometimes, because at least failure on those brings Higgledies power up, so it doesn't feel as bad. Tip 8. My last gear tip will be don't feel bad investing in your 3 star weapon. I have, and they are my strongest weapons right now. Since 4 star weapons are so rare and you can't target a specific type, I say go ahead and invest in the 3 stars with leveling and awakening. You will have to do it at end game anyways, as when you get to single element builds, it will use the 3 star, the 4 star and the rare 4 star weapon of your class. Tip 9. As familiars are hard to come by free to play, my advice is to only invest in the 4 stars. You can only equip 3 anyways, and even though everyone says the cow is bad, I found him quite helpful, not just as a stat stick, but in farming as well, and heaven only knows when I'll get another 4 star dart familiar. Tip number 10. When it comes to pages, at this early stage in the game, not many people are willing to trade 1 but for 12 pages when you set up your pop-up shop. So your best bet is to just save 30 pages and buy the skill from the traveling merchant whenever she appears, and hopefully she has the skill you want. Tip 11. My last tip will be for the shop and people looking to spend a small amount of money. If you play primarily on the phone, I think the daily adventure is a good deal, offering 6 extra hours of offline farming. Given that the game has a lot of auto farming, being able to farm if the game closes is a godsend for your phone and your life, because 4 hours isn't enough and they knew this full well. If you play on a PC or jump between both like me, I don't think the bundle is as worth it, as the game is quite optimized and you can just leave your PC farming most of the time. Tip 12. An extra tip about the AI mode. I use it as a quick teleport to whatever spot I'm farming in the chaos field. When you click AI in recent area, it lets you teleport to the last place you were AI, which is usually for me in the chaos field farming pages. You can also set it up to use as a temporary teleport spot in the case where you will want to go back to that specific area. It still costs gold to teleport though. It's just a wee bit faster than having to teleport to the global spot and then walk. Anyways, that's all I have for now. Until next time, my name is Kujex, and remember, the Genie is the biggest scam in history.